Hello students, I welcome you all to today's session. I hope all of you are doing perfect at your places. Today's topic is modes of nutrition in animals. Learning objectives: define Holozoic nutrition and its 5 processes, understand nutrition in humans, learn the process of digestion and various parts involved in digestive system, learn the types and structure of teeth, learn the various precautions involved in dental hygiene, understand the parts of alimentary canal, the glands associated with digestive system, understand the absorption process in small intestine, learn about the assimilation and defecation process, understand nutrition and digestion process in amoeba, understand the digestion process in ruminant animals, and learn the stomach structure in ruminants. So let's begin with the chapter. The sum total of all the processes starting from taking the food up to its utilization is called nutrition. Animals are not able to prepare the food themselves and they feed on other living organisms, and they are classified into the following groups. Herbivores, those animals who totally feed on plants and its products, for example goat, cow, rabbit. Carnivores, those animals who feed on other animals are called carnivores, for example lion and tiger. Omnivores, animals that feed on all types of foods, for example humans, bear and crow. Then you have frugivores, animals that eat fruits are called frugivores, for example monkey and parrot. Then you have sanguinivores, animals who feed on blood of other animals are called sanguinivores, example leech, female anopheles, mosquito. Then you have insectivores, animals that feed on insects, for example common bats. So entire concept of the intake of food, assimilation and finally the excretion. This entire concept is of न्यूट्रिशन. हर्बीवोर्स, कार्निवोर्स, स्कैवेंजर्स, इंसेक्टिवोर्स, अलग अलग कैटेगरीज में आपके ऑर्गेनिजम्स डिफरेंशिएटेड हैं. लेट्स अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज होलोजोइक न्यूट्रिशन. Holozoic nutrition is also called ingestive nutrition. It is nourishment that is obtained by feeding on solid food substances such as fruits, vegetables and meat. इन तरीके के complete whole food को जब आप consume करते हो and you get nutrition from these kinds of food items, this is known as Holozoic mode of nutrition. So again, Holozoic mode of nutrition is divided into 3: herbivores, omnivores or carnivores. Herbivores is again, for example, you have frugivores, monkeys. Then you have fluid feeders, example anopheles, male mosquito. And in carnivores there are 2 types: insectivorous, for example lizards, and then sanguinivores, for example leeches. Now let's see the entire process of nutrition. The various steps involved in the process of nutrition are the following. Number 1 is ingestion. The act of getting and eating the food collectively is called ingestion. Then digestion. The breakdown of food into simple and soluble molecules inside the body is called digestion. Then happens the absorption. The process by which soluble molecules present in the digested food pass into the body fluid like blood is called the absorption. Assimilation, the process in which absorbed food is used for producing energy and growth is called assimilation. And finally the egestion, the process by which the undigested food materials are removed from the body is called egestion. 5 मोड का न्यूट्रिशन होता है. पहले आप इंजेस्ट करते हो, खाते हो, खाने के बाद डाइजेस्ट होता है, डाइजेस्ट के बाद जो न्यूट्रिएंट्स होते हैं अब्जॉर्ब होते हैं, अब्जॉर्ब होने के बाद असिमिलेशन होता है, असिमिलेशन के बाद फाइनली आपका जो वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट होता है वो आपका एडजस्ट हो जाता है. Now let's see the nutrition in humans. In humans, digestion takes place through the mouth. Digestion process begins in the mouth and is completed in the stomach. Absorption takes place in small intestine, and then the human digestive system consists of the alimentary canal and its associated organs. It is nearly a 9-meter long tube extending from the mouth to the anus. तो human beings में आप पहले mouth को use करते हुए ingest करते हो food को, food pipe से stomach में जाता है, stomach से small intestine में जाता है, and this entire long tube is approximately 9 to 10 centimeters. Then its various parts in sequence are mouth, mouth cavity, esophagus or the food pipe, stomach, small intestine, large intestine and anus. Ducts open into this tube to bring the secretion of the associated digestive glands. The important glands associated with the digestive system are salivary glands, liver and the pancreas. अभी आपके mouth से शुरू होता है, then mouth cavity आती है, esophagus आता है which is your food pipe, then comes your stomach, stomach के बाद small intestine, फिर large intestine and end हो जाता है आपका digestive system with the anus. Now parts of the alimentary canal one by one, beginning with the mouth. Mouth is the first organ of the alimentary canal. We ingest food with the help of the mouth. Digestion, the second step of nutrition, begins in the mouth only. The opening of the mouth is bounded by 2 fleshy structures, the lips. The cavity of mouth is referred to as oral or mouth cavity. In the mouth, there are 2 important parts needed in nutrition process, and they are tongue and टीथ। अब आते हैं एलिमेंट्री कैनाल के पहले पार्ट पे, विच इज माउथ। माउथ में ही आपका एक्चुअली डाइजेशन का प्रोसेस स्टार्ट हो जाता है, जब आपका सलाइवा से मिलकर आपका खाना और स्मॉलर कंपाउंड्स में ब्रेक डाउन होने लग जाता है। देन कम्स द टंग. Tongue helps to turn the food inside the mouth so as to facilitate mastication or chewing. It is a muscular organ. The tongue also has taste buds which help to sense the taste. तो chewing, जिसको mastication भी बोलते हैं, उसमें help करता है एक तो tongue, और दूसरा इसमें taste buds होते हैं। 4 taste buds अलग अलग positions पे होते हैं, starting with the sweet, then salty, then sour and then last में bitter. इन 4 taste buds भी आपके ये muscular organ tongue में ही होते हैं। Then comes the teeth. Teeth play an important role in starting the process of digestion. They help us to cut and chew food. There are upper and lower jaw. There are 4 different types of teeth, different in number and different in animals. The 4 types of teeth are given here. These are number 1, beginning with incisors. They are present in the front part of both the jaws. They are used for biting and cutting the food, and they are 8 in number, 4 in each jaw. तो आपके हर ऑर्गेनिज्म में टीथ का नंबर इन द टाइप ऑफ टीथ दैट ईच ऑर्गेनिज्म हैज डिफर्स, स्टार्टिंग विद द इंसिजर्स जो अपर और लोअर जॉ में होते हैं, 4 इन नंबर एंड टोटल 8 होते हैं। Then comes the canines. They are present on either side of the incisors. They are sharp and pointed and thus help in tearing the food, and they are 4 in number. Then comes the premolars. These teeth are present at the back of the mouth and are used for crushing and grinding the food. There are 8 premolars in the human set. And then comes the molars. Molars are large back teeth having a wide grinding surface and are used primarily to chew food, and humans have 12 molars. So 4 सेट होते ही होते हैं, humans में तो होते ही हैं और organisms में भी होते हैं. These are your incisors. Incisors के बाद आपके आते हैं canines, canines के बाद premolars and then lastly molars. The teeth appear 2 times in the lifetime of humans. They are number 1, milk teeth or the temporary set. Children in the age group of 6 months to 8 years have milk teeth, and these are 20 in number. 10 in the upper jaw and 10 in the lower jaw. These are the temporary teeth and are gradually replaced by a new set of teeth. At birth, infant has no teeth. After approximately 6 months, the teeth first appear. These are called the incisors. Gradually, a child develops 10 milk teeth in each jaw, and these are incisors 4 in number, canines 2 in number, premolars 2 in number, and there are 20 milk teeth in the temporary set. तो 2 टाइप के सेट ह्यूमन लाइफ टाइम में देखने को मिलते हैं। पहले होते हैं मिल्क टीथ या फिर टेम्पररी टीथ, जो कि 20 होते हैं टोटल इन नंबर्स में। छोटे बच्चे जो होते हैं 8 या 10 साल तक के, उनके ये टीथ निकलते हैं और फिर धीरे धीरे ये जब टूटते जाते हैं फिर आपके निकलते हैं परमानेंट सेट ऑफ टीथ। Then comes the permanent teeth. These grow after the shedding of the milk teeth in an adult person. These are 32 in number. These teeth also shed, but in the old age or due to some tooth disease. They cannot be replaced by new natural teeth. Molars appear when the permanent teeth replace the milk teeth, and thus an adult person has 4 incisors, 2 canines, 4 premolars and 6 molars. The third molar in each jaw is called the wisdom tooth, which appears after the age of 20, and characteristics of the teeth in different types of animals is different. अब आते हैं permanent teeth पे, total 32 होते हैं ये अगर आपके झड़ना स्टार्ट हो गए अगर यंग एज में भी, तो नेचुरली आपको दूसरे सेट बाय डिफॉल्ट नहीं मिलेंगे, फिर आपको दूसरा सेट ही लगाना पड़ेगा। तो इसीलिए अपने दांतों की देखभाल करना इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। Now think yourself, count your teeth with the help of your finger, identify various kinds of teeth in each jaw, record your observation and compare it with your parents, and this you have to do on your own. Just count your teeth, compare it with your parents, and how is it different. Now there's a factopedia. Blue whale, the largest animal on earth, does not have any teeth. It eats only microscopic plants and animals, while small mosquito has 47 teeth. अब blue whale जो इतना बड़ा जानवर है उसके पास कोई दांत ही नहीं है, और जो मच्छर इतना छोटा सा होता है उसके पास 47 teeth होते हैं. So these are the differences between the organisms' dental structure. Now herbivores have incisors only in their lower jaw and flat sharp edged molars and premolars, and plants caters have large sharp incisors, flat molars and premolars. Carnivores have highly developed canines to tear flesh easily, small but sharp incisor to hold, and molars, premolars for slicing through flesh and bones. Omnivores, human, have all the 4 types of teeth. They fit together to form a neat bite at the front. Human teeth are heterodont, 2 sets of teeth during the lifetime, milk teeth and permanent teeth, and thecodont kept in the socket. तो आपके हर्बीवोर्स के जो आपके इंसिजर्स होते हैं वो ज़्यादा शार्प होते हैं, ओमनीवोर्स के कैनाइंस बहुत ज़्यादा शार्प होते हैं, एंड ओमनीवोर्स जैसे ह्यूमंस होते हैं उनके पास 2 सेट ऑफ टीथ होते हैं और सारे के सारे टाइप्स के टीथ इनके डेंटल स्ट्रक्चर में आपको देखने को मिलते हैं. Now, dental care. The care of teeth is the main aspect in the oral hygiene. Bacteria are present all around us, even in our mouths and inside our bodies. When we eat sweets or chocolate and do not brush teeth regularly, the food particles, saliva and bacteria deposit on our teeth, forming a yellowish film known as plaque. Plaque is either present on our teeth or in between them. Plaque that is not washed away by brushing produces acid when it continues to feed on food particles in the mouth, and the acid dissolves the minerals that are responsible for hardness of our teeth. Tiny holes appear on the surface of the enamels, which slowly gets bigger until one large hole appears, called the cavity. तो आप अगर रेगुलरली बहुत मीठा वगैरह खाते हैं, प्लाक आपके मुंह में जमा होने लग जाता है और ये रेगुलर अगर ब्रश करने से नहीं निकला तो ये आपके फूड पे ही फीड करता है और फिर धीरे धीरे कैविटी, बहुत बड़ा होल बनना धीरे धीरे शुरू हो जाता है. Now, Factopedia, teeth are white in color due to their coating with a hard, shiny white substance called the enamel. It is composed of keratin hardened with minerals such as calcium and magnesium, and it is the hardest substance in our body. The elephant's tusks are actually its incisors. They are used for fighting and digging. तो ये जो enamel आपका white color होता है teeth का, it is actually because of the enamel. और ये enamel में ही आपका अलग टाइप का keratin, protein वगैरह होता है, and पूरी body में bone से भी ज़्यादा जो hard होता है वो आपके teeth ही होते हैं. Now, precautions to be taken to prevent tooth decay are: brush teeth regularly, twice a day, once in the morning and once before going to bed. Fluorine is good for teeth, so dentists recommend fluoride toothpaste. Do not eat too much of sweet foods like sweets, chocolates, toffees and ice creams. After eating these, brush your teeth well. Do not try to break hard materials with the teeth. Do not eat or drink too hot or too cold drinks, and eat a lot of vegetables and fruits which are rich in vitamins and minerals. So all these things you have to follow in order for your dental or oral hygiene to be maintained. Otherwise, आपके ये permanent teeth भी अगर झड़ने लग गए तो आपको natural दूसरे teeth मिलेंगे नहीं. तो ये सारे चीज़ आपको follow करनी चाहिए. Now, there's a Factopedia. In humans, canine teeth are considered as the vestigial organs. Now, next we have the salivary glands. Our oral cavity receives secretions from 3 pairs of salivary glands called the parotid gland, submadural gland and sublingual gland, and they produce a watery secretion called the saliva. Saliva contains an enzyme known as a salivary amylase that breaks down the starch into simpler sugars. अब आपकी saliva में ही amylase होता है और ये amylase आपकी खाने के starch को simpler sugars में convert करता है जो आपकी body absorb करती है. Thus, salivary glands secrete saliva which gets mixed with the food with the help of tongue. Food is broken down into simpler substances with the help of teeth. This process is called chewing or mastication. Salivary enzyme amylase or ptyalin breaks down the starch into sugars. तो saliva में ही amylase होता है, उसी की वजह से आपका खाना simpler compounds में break होता है, finally body में जाता है, stomach में further digestion वहीं से take place करता है. Now, there's an activity. Take 2 test tubes marked as A and B. In A, put some boiled rice. In B, keep some boiled rice after chewing it for around 3 to 5 minutes. Add some water in both the test tubes. Now, pour 1 to 2 drops of iodine solution in each test tube. Observation: in A, the rice grains turn blue-black. In B, the grains turn reddish-brown to yellow. Explanation: in test tube A, there are boiled rice containing starch which turns blue-black on reacting with the iodine. And in test tube B, the boiled grains are chewed, due to which they changed from the starch to sugar. The sugars do not give blue-black color with iodine. Conclusion: the saliva break down the starch into sugars. तो यहाँ पर आप जब दोनों टेस्ट ट्यूब लोगे, एक में रॉ राइस एक में बॉइल्ड राइस रखोगे, तो बॉइल्ड राइस में आपका स्टार्च होता है, उसमें जैसे ही आप आयोडीन सोल्यूशन डालोगे वो ब्लू ब्लैक कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा बिकॉज ऑफ द स्टार्च प्रेजेंट इन इट. Now think yourself, and these questions you have to answer on your own. Now you have the esophagus. It is also known as a food pipe. It is a hollow tube made of muscles. It connects the mouth cavity to stomach. It uses rhythmic wave-like movements called the peristalsis to move the food from mouth to stomach. This movement takes place throughout the alimentary canal. At times, the food is not accepted after eating and comes out through the mouth called vomiting. The partially digested food called the bolus is swallowed to stomach. अब आपका जो एलिमेंट्री कैनाल होता है उसमें आपकी एक पेरिस्टाल्टिक मूवमेंट, इस तरीके की मूवमेंट होती है जिसकी वजह से खाना आपका माउथ से सीधे आपके स्टमक में चला जाता है. Stomach. Stomach is a thick-walled muscular bag located in the upper abdomen. It is the widest part of the alimentary canal. It is C-shaped and is connected at one end to esophagus and other end to the small intestine. The stomach secretes gastric juices. Gastric juice consists of digestive juices, mucus and acid. अब finally आपका esophagus से होते हुए ये पहुंचता है आपके खाना स्टमक तक, और स्टमक में आपके गैस्ट्रिक जूसेस, म्यूकस लाइनिंग और HCl हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड होता है जो फर्दर आपके खाने को स्मॉलर कंपाउंड्स में ब्रेक कर देता है. नाउ डाइजेस्टिव जूस कंटेन्स एन एंजाइम पेप्सिन्स दैट ब्रेक्स down the proteins to simpler substances. Mucus is a slimy layer that protects the stomach wall from the acid and digestive juices. Acid is hydrochloric acid. It kills many bacteria along with the food and makes the medium in the stomach acidic, in which digestive juice can act. अब यहीं पर आपका जो HCl होता है वो जो प्रोटीन प्रेजेंट होता है आपके खाने में उसको और सिंपलर कंपाउंड्स में कन्वर्ट कर देता है ताकि स्मॉल इंटेस्टाइन में जाने के बाद असिमिलेशन अब्जॉर्प्शन आपका ढंग से हो जाए. Then comes the small intestine. It is highly coiled and it is about 7.5 meters in length. It is the most important part of the alimentary canal as the process of digestion is completed in it. The small intestine receives secretion from liver and pancreas and food from the stomach. Now comes your small intestine, around 7.5 centimeters or meters in length. Coiled tube होती है and आपका final absorption जो होता है nutrients का वो यहीं पर होता है. Then comes the liver. It is the largest reddish-brown gland situated in the upper part of the abdomen on the right side. It secretes bile juice that is stored in a sac-like structure called the gallbladder. Whenever food reaches the small intestine, the gallbladder releases the bile juice into it. अब आता है आपका liver, reddish-brown color का होता है, right side पे located होता है, इसमें से bile juice secrete होता है, which again further small intestine तक ये जाता है और आपके खाने को और absorb करने में ये help करता है. Now let's see the role of the bile juice. Bile juice or bile has three main functions. Number one, it emulsifies fat, physical breakdown of fat particles. Fats being insoluble in water are present at large droplets in the food as they cannot be digested easily, and bile juice breaks these droplets into smaller ones and make their digestion easier. अब सबसे पहले तो fat को ये और simpler form में convert करता है. This is the first function of the bile juice. Second, it makes the medium in the stomach alkaline as pancreatic enzymes can act only in alkaline medium, and it prevents the drying up of the food. अब stomach में ये bile juice secrete होता है तो ये और ज़्यादा alkaline stomach की lining को बना देता है, because pancreas से जो pancreatic juice secrete होते हैं वो सिर्फ alkaline medium में ही अपना काम कर सकते हैं. And lastly, food को dry up होने से ये बचाते हैं. Then comes the pancreas. It is a large cream-colored gland located just below the stomach. It secretes a pancreatic juice and releases it into the intestine. Pancreatic juice contains all the three types of enzymes that can act upon carbohydrates, proteins and fats separately. These enzymes break down these into simpler substances, although partially. The partly digested food now reaches the lower part of the small intestine, where the intestinal juices completes the digestion of all the components of food. The carbohydrates are again broken down into simpler sugars like the glucose, fats are broken down into fatty acids and glycerol, proteins are broken down into amino acids, and intestinal glands secrete intestinal juice to complete the digestion process. तो intestine या small intestine की upper part में ही आपके pancreatic juices act upon करते हैं, वहाँ से खाना आपका थोड़ा बहुत digest और absorb होके further आता है lower part of the small intestine में, and यहाँ पे आपका जो कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स होता है वो सिंपलर शुगर्स में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, जो फैट्स होते हैं वो फैटी एसिड्स और ग्लिसरॉल में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं, प्रोटीन आपका अमीनो एसिड्स में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. Now comes the absorption in the small intestine. The inner wall of the small intestine has millions of small finger-like projections called the villi. The villi have very thin walls and are ideal structures for absorption. The villi increase the surface area for absorption of the digested food. The villi has a network of very fine, thin and small blood vessels called the capillaries. The villi absorb the digested soluble food products, their wall, and pan these to the capillaries. The blood vessels distribute the blood or the food materials to different organs of the body. Organs use these substances to build the complex substances such as the proteins required by the body, and this is called the assimilation. अब आपका आता है small intestine. Small intestine में आपके small finger like projections होते हैं जिनको villi बोलते हैं. ये small intestine का surface area बढ़ा देते हैं ताकि absorption और भी ज़्यादा अच्छे से हो पाए. In each cell, the glucose molecules are broken down, which means oxidized, by the oxygen molecules. During this process, carbon dioxide, water and energy are are released. This process is called the internal respiration. This energy is what we utilize for our activities. Finally फिर आपका खाना absorb होने के बाद oxidize हो जाता है, oxidize होने के बाद energy release हो जाती है, जिससे आप अपनी सारी day to day activities करने में use कर लेते हैं. Then comes the large intestine. It is an approximately 1.5 meter long tube that has no digestive function. The undigested food, called the waste, moves from the small intestine to the large intestine. The large intestine removes most of the water from the waste by absorption. The almost solid wet waste is then sent to the rectum. The wet solid waste, called the feces, leaves the body through the anus, and the process of throwing the solid waste out of the body is called the egestion or the defecation. अब आपका आता है large intestine. यहाँ पे कोई absorption नहीं होता है. जो आपका waste product होता है, इसमें से water absorb हो जाता है, थोड़ा बहुत अगर बचा होता है तो, and then the solid waste rectum में जाके इकट्ठा हो जाता है, और फिर आपका defecation, excretion process anus के through start हो जाता है. Now let's see the nutrition in amoeba. Amoeba are unicellular and live in water. Their cell contains cytoplasm and nucleus. Amoeba perform nutrition like any other animal. अब आते हैं amoeba पे. unicellular animal है ये, and ये आपका water aquatic organism है. Now there's a factopedia. The large intestine has a finger-like outgrowth near the junction of the small and the large intestine, and it is termed as appendix. Appendix is a vestigial organ and does not perform any function. Sometimes the appendix may get infected due to the entry of the food or worms. This results in the inflammation of the appendix, called the appendicitis, and results in the unbearable abdominal pain. The surgery is performed in which appendix is removed. अब आता है आपके large intestine के बिल्कुल end में आपका एक appendix नाम का structure आता है, जिसका कोई function नहीं होता है, जिसके लिए उसको vestigial organ बोला जाता है. Function है नहीं, लेकिन ये कभी-कभी जब खराब हो जाता है या worms वगैरह इसमें infect हो जाते हैं तो बहुत तेज आपको lower abdomen में दर्द हो सकता है. Finally एक surgery perform होती है जिसमें appendix को remove कर दिया जाता है. Now think yourself, and these questions you have to answer on your own. Now, nutrition involving engulfment of the whole or part of a plant or an animal is called the holozoic nutrition. Here also, सबसे पहले आपका होता है ingestion. When amoeba comes in contact with one of these organisms, it sort of flows around the organisms, forming a cup-shaped projection. This is called a food cup or food vacuole, which completely encloses and ingests the food. This mode of nutrition is called the phagocytosis. The outgrowth from the cell is known as the pseudopodia. तो आपके amoeba में सबसे पहले ingestion होता है. It happens through pseudopodia. Pseudo meaning false, podia meaning feet. ये already हम पीछे की classes में पढ़ चुके हैं. Second happens the digestion. In amoeba, digestion is very simple and direct. When prey is engulfed, enzymes are released into the food vacuole, and enzymes along with the digestive juices break down the food, forming a solution. बिल्कुल simple process होता है. कुछ enzymes आपके amoeba में already present होते हैं. When the food is engulfed by amoeba, ये उसी में mix up होके food को और simpler form में convert कर देते हैं. And then finally the absorption takes place. The food in solution form is now ready to be absorbed and assimilated. The digested food is absorbed by the cytoplasm surrounding the food vacuole. In amoeba, digestion of food takes place within its cell, which is known as the intracellular digestion. Digestion after the digestion and absorption, amoeba expels the undigested food by a process known as exocytosis. तो इसमें intracellular digestion होता है, यानी कि amoeba के cells के अंदर ही digestion होता है. Finally जो waste product होता है वो उसको expel out कर देते हैं by the process of exocytosis. Nutrition in ruminants. Ruminants are the animals that bring back the swallowed food to chew on it again. Certain grass-eating animals are adapted to digest their food in this manner. These animals gather their food, chew it rapidly, mix with saliva and swallow it hurriedly. When they relax, they bring the food back in the mouth in small lumps and chew them. This act of chewing is called the cumination or chewing the cud. अब आपके ruminants आते हैं, for example cow and buffalo, ये एक बार chew करते हैं, अंदर body में लेके जाते हैं, वापस से फिर मुंह में लेकर आते हैं, and then this is known as chewing the cud. In ruminants, the stomach is divided into 4 chambers. तो जितने भी ruminants होते हैं उन सभी में आपको 4 चेंबर का स्टमक दिखाई देता है. पहले होता है rumen. The first chamber is rumen and is the largest of the 4 compartments. Ruminant takes in large quantities of food at one time. The rumen helps in storing food that has been quickly consumed. It is then brought back into the mouth, re-chewed and re-swallowed in a process called cud chewing. तो पहले आता है 4 chambers में rumen, जिसमें ये खाना पहले तो ingest करते हैं, वापस पेट तक लेके आते हैं और वापस उस फूड को मुंह में लेकर आते हैं और फिर उसको chew करना स्टार्ट करते हैं, which is known as chewing the cud. Second is reticulum. It is the second chamber of the stomach. It has a honeycomb-like structure and helps in moving the swallowed food back into the mouth for chewing. Then comes the omasum. It is the third chamber of the stomach. It is the smallest chamber and its main function is to absorb the excess water and reduce the particle size further. The first three chambers of the stomach help in the fermentation of cellulose. They have a large sac-like structures called the caseum. At the joining of the small and large intestine, it contains the bacteria which digest the cellulose present in the food. तो पहले three chambers जो होते हैं वो सिर्फ खाने के या cellulose के fermentation में help करते हैं. Then lastly comes the abomasum. The fourth and the last compartment of the ruminant's stomach is the abomasum, and this is the true stomach and functions in the similar manner as the human stomach. The wall of the abomasum secretes gastric juices to aid digestion. Humans cannot digest cellulose as they do not have compound stomach having specialized bacteria to digest cellulose. अब abomasum आता है fourth chamber of the ruminant's stomach, और ये बिल्कुल human beings के ही body की stomach की तरह काम करता है, और human beings का stomach क्योंकि इतना compound नहीं होता है तो वो सेल्यूलोज को नहीं डाइजेस्ट कर सकते हैं. Now think yourself, and these questions you have to answer on your own. Now there's a glimpse of the chapter Holozoic nutrition, the process of obtaining nutrition by taking in complex food matter. Ingestion, taking a substance into the body through the mouth. Ingestion, breakdown of food into simpler and soluble molecules. Absorption, the process by which soluble molecules present in the digested food pass into the body fluid like flood is called the absorption. Assimilation, the process in which absorbed food is used for producing energy and growth. Ingestion, the process by which the undigested food materials are removed from the body. Incisors, front teeth for biting and cutting the food. Canines, sharp teeth for tearing the food. Premolars and molars, back teeth for grinding the food. Mastication, the process by which food is broken down into simpler substances with the help of the teeth. Then comes the peristalsis, rhythmic wave-like movement of alimentary canal to move the food from mouth to the stomach. Then comes villi, finger-like projections in the walls of the small intestine for increased and easy absorption of food. Then comes the phagocortices, complete inclusion and ingestion of food through the food cup or food vacuole. Rumen, the largest compartment of a ruminant stomach. Ruminants, plant-eating animals that bring back the swallowed food in the mouth in small lumps and chew it. Then comes the summary. Nutrition in animals involves 5 processes: ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and then finally egestion. Human beings have a well-developed digestive system for their nutrition. The main digestive glands which secrete digestive juices are salivary glands, liver and pancreas. The stomach wall and the wall of the small intestine also secrete the digestive juices. Mouth cavity has 4 types of teeth for the mastication of food. Salivary glands secrete saliva that breaks down the starch present in the food into simpler sugars. Small intestine receives bile from the liver and digestive juices from a wall and the pancreas. Absorption takes place through villi present in the small intestine. Assimilation is the next step in which absorbed food circulates in the body through blood and is stored for the future use. The stored food is further utilized by the process of respiration. The unabsorbed and undigested food passes to the large intestine where most of the water and salts are absorbed. The undigested and unabsorbed residues are expelled out of the body as feces through the anus by the process of defecation. Digestion in amoeba is intracellular digestion. Mode of nutrition in amoeba is phagocytosis. In Hydra, nutrition is extracellular. Ruminants like cows, buffaloes and deer eat their food quickly and bring it back to their mouth and then chew them when they are at rest. Stomach of ruminants is a 4-chambered where the food is stored, digested and absorbed to some extent, and stomach has 4 chambers named rumen, reticulum, omasum and abomasum. So this entire chapter dealt with the digestive and the entire digestive organs of humans as well as certain other organisms including ruminants, hydra and amoeba. With this, we're done with this chapter. Please go through the chapter once again properly, and the exercise questions, please do it yourselves.